And until we come to this for real, the pressure of church growth will continue to rest on the shoulders of pastors, whereas it is supposed to be the responsibility of all. You feed the body from one point, but the body is faithful in its digestion and distribution of the resources to grow all the parts uniformly. So you're not going to have a leg that is an electric pole, a stomach that is a huge drum. That would be a monster. And today we are growing monstrous churches that are growing, the parts that are growing at the expense of the body. And those of us who have been diligent enough to learn the appropriate lesson in developing each part as a functional unit of the whole body that grows together, it will be easier for pastors to grow their churches, multiply the harvest like we're all praying to do, if all the units in the church are functioning and doing well. When the church don't grow in number, we blame it on the pastors. How can the pastor be responsible for the growth of the church? The herdsman produce fellow herdsmen. Cow produce cow. Herdsman don't produce cow. It is the members that produce themselves. We pastor them. But when the whole responsibility of church growth is placed on the shoulders of the leader, it becomes too heavy. And I've taught this in my church. Let the choir sing on Sunday. Let whoever is a newcomer come to listen, hear the song, and you want to come and hear them again next Sunday. Church will grow by choir. Let the prayer band take responsibility for answered prayers and take the burden of having to pray for people's problem to be settled. Take that off my shoulder. So they have their meetings during the week. And everybody in the church know if you have crisis, take it to prayer band meeting. Don't wait for pastor. There was a mad woman on the streets and walking past the front of my church. And it was the day we were eating Holy Communion. And I saw the woman walking naked in front of the church and had crossed going towards of her garage. And I told my wife, I said, this is another problem on Sunday morning. Because in our orphanage, my wife had 85 children, motherless. 6 of them are from mad women from the streets. So I said, this one that is going about naked the way she is will soon get pregnant and will soon give birth to another one on the street. So what do we do? And she was even backing a child. So I told my wife what I will do. I will get to church and I will announce to church that I will not be able to have a long sermon today because I saw a mad woman on the streets and I'm going to go after her and see what I can do to rescue. If I cannot rescue her, I will see what I can do about the baby on her back. So I told the ushers in front of the church, run. If this woman does not branch off the major street, you meet her in less than a kilometer away. Wherever you meet her, pin her down. I will soon come and meet you there to see what I can do. So I introduced my sermon by saying, men and brethren, my sermon this morning will not be a long one because there's a mad woman on the street I saw and I'm going to go after her to see what I can do. You are the 99. I'm going after the lost one on the street. I had not preached 10 minutes when the head usher came to me on the stage and said, sir, we've seen the woman. She did not leave the main road. And we have brought her to the front of the church. She's there sitting down. Please preach our full sermon to us. Don't shortchange us because of a woman that is passing by. So I told the church, I said, you heard what she said? She said I should preach my full sermon to you. I should not shortchange you because of a mad woman that is passing by. Then they clapped. I had preached yet another 10 minutes. The head usher came and said, sir, you know today is Holy Communion service. And we had excess wine we were to throw away. One of the ushers said, give it to her, let her drink. She will become well. And one of the ushers said, Holy Communion for a mad person. Another one answered and said, are you going to drink it? Are we not going to throw it away? Give it to her, let her drink. The woman drank it and became well. So I had not preached another 5 minutes when the head usher was patrolling between the audience and coming to say, you know, the next thing now is that when she drank the wine, she became well. Everything about her was correct. She was calm. She was reasonable. She was grateful for us taking her off the streets. And when we saw that, we were looking for clothes for her to wear. We look among us, who is her size? And your house is not far from church. Could you please go fetch a dress? And look at the baby. You have a baby like this one. Can you go home and find dress for the baby? And we have dressed her. We have dressed her child, and they are in the service. If I was not briefing the congregation each time the head usher was shuttling, you will think we were making a story up. But I was always telling them what was happening. And so when I told the church that the woman that I am talking about is now well, from the remnant of the wine you drank. And when I asked, where is she? And she stood up from the congregation. It was the easiest sermon for me to preach because we can all see it. So our church was growing through the ministry of the ushers. When the day comes, when the ushers are contributing to church growth, prayer band contributing to church growth, choir contributing to church growth, and all these ushers contributing to church growth, the burden on the pastor for church growth will be less.